whenever we feel like we've made it, the second we feel like we make it is when we start moving backwards. And all of us have hit certain points like this in our life. Because in a fitness journey, right, it's not like you get a six-pack and then as soon as you get your six-pack, now the work is done. Like, oh yeah, I have my six-pack, I'm lean now, and now I can go back to eating cookies and brownies. I think that's what most people feel like. However, what most people don't understand is that it's not just like getting it that's impressive, it's keeping it that's impressive. Like I'm always a work in progress. And so in your health journey, when it comes to your fitness goals, as soon as you feel like you make it in your fitness journey, that's the second you start moving backwards. Because let's talk about this with your weight loss clients. How many of your guys' weight loss clients have achieved a certain weight loss goal? And then it's almost like the second they hit that goal, they take their foot off the gas pedal. And then they go back a couple steps. Maybe they go away for a weekend or they don't track their meals for a week. Because they hit their goal, they're letting themselves celebrate. And because they let themselves celebrate, now they're like, they go back 2 or 3 steps. How many of us have had that? How many of us have done that in our own journeys? We'll be like on a fitness journey and we'll like get to a certain level. If you're a fitness competitor, you can relate to what I'm about to say. If you're a fitness competitor, you get to the stage, you step on stage, you compete. And then as soon as you compete, boom. It's like, okay, the show's done. Now I don't have to do my cardio. Now I don't have to wake up early. But like, no, like that's not where it ends. I am always a work in progress. We never actually make it. And because we set these arbitrary, benchmarks for our own success, and we base our success on external circumstances, what happens is the second that we think that we make it is when we start moving backwards. Like I'm all for celebrating my success and giving myself the positive affirmations that I'm on the right path. However, I never actually make it because as soon as we feel like we've mastered something, that's when somebody passes us. That's when we take the foot off the gas pedal. That's when we stop learning. Let's talk about how this applies to your online business journey, because a lot of you guys as online fitness coaches have done this. And I know this because I've been an entrepreneur for 7 years and I've done this many times. It took me a lot of trial and error for me to understand this concept that I'm going to share with you guys. So I hope that you listen and you don't make the same mistakes that I did. When I was growing my online business, guys, I had such like high ambitions to get my business to 2,000 a month, 3,000 a month, 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month. And then it's almost like every single time I hit that benchmark, once I hit 5K, I took my foot off the gas and I stopped doing the things that got me to 5K in the first place. I stopped posting consistently. I stopped lead generating. I stopped booking calls. I stopped being consistent with waking up and doing my morning ritual. I almost took my foot off the gas pedal once I got to a certain level because I felt like I made it. But the second you feel like you make it is the second you start moving backwards, because your success is never based on external things. Your success is based on your character. And your character is something that you always need to be working on, always need to be improving. You're either moving forwards or you're moving backwards. And now this is the best part, all right? So everything we do is always a work in progress. Let's talk about our relationships for a second. How many of us have fallen into the trap of feeling like we are really good in our relationship, and so we might not put as much work into it as we need to? It's almost like, oh yeah, me and my husband, we have a good relationship, and because we feel like that, we have got a good relationship, it's almost like you don't actively work on it. Or this could even be with a friend that you have. Like if you're like, yeah, I'm really good friends with this person, and so you don't actively pursue or work on the relationship. But the second you feel like you've like made it in your relationship is when you start moving backwards, because you're not being as intentional with reaching out to these people, and you're not communicating with them, and you might not be as open with your partner as you want to be. The second that you feel like you make it is the second you start moving backwards, because your success is never based on external circumstances or mental benchmarks that you put in. Your success is based on your habits. Does this make sense? I am always a work in progress. So let's go a layer deeper, because I know what you guys might be thinking right now, right? You guys might be thinking, well, in order to be successful, that means that you must constantly be working on yourself, correct? And a lot of you guys might be thinking like, yo, damn, that's a lot of work. Like always working on your health, always working on your relationships, always working on your wealth, like trying to make more money, change more people's lives, always being an active part of your business. Man, that's a lot of work. And a lot of people, when it comes to the work that it takes to be successful, view it as labor. View it as something challenging. Like working on my business is challenging. Working on my relationship is challenging. Working on my fitness goals is challenging. A lot of us view labor from a place of like, it's like a task that has to get done in our list. It's like something that we don't enjoy doing, but we must get done. Do you guys feel me on that? Do you guys relate to this? Even when it comes to creating content for our audience, a lot of us view content as like a necessary labor to get an end result. And we're looking to make like $5,000, $10,000 a month. Does that kind of make sense? So most of us, if we understand that we're always a work in progress and that in order to see progress in our life, then we have to be consistently putting in work. A lot of us view this work that we're putting in as like labor intensive, as in not enjoyable, as in like we don't want to do it, but we have to do it anyways. Let me tell you why this is the wrong mindset. Because when we start viewing working on ourselves as a chore and not as a gift, then we won't do what's necessary in order to reach the next level. Like, guys, for me, working on my health is a fucking gift. Like, the fact that I have 2 legs that work, my body is functional, I can go to the gym, I can exercise, I can get a good pump in, I can work on myself, I can do cardio and get leaner if I want to, I can eat the foods that I want to eat that make me feel amazing, I can drink more water so that I feel more energized throughout the day. Like, that's a gift. That's not a chore. And most people view it as a chore. And so that's why they don't enjoy working out or exercising. Oh, it's a chore. No, it's a fucking gift. I'm working on myself because I love myself, because I love feeling good, because I love looking good. And that's why I'm choosing to put the work in and day out for my physique, for my aesthetics, for my well-being, for my health and everything. It's a gift. It is a gift for me to get up at 4:30 in the morning. Actually, it's 4 in the morning now, every single day to work on my mindset for 30 minutes before I start the day so that I can go into every single day with energy, clarity, and confidence. It's a fucking gift. It's not a chore. I'm always a work in progress, and working on myself is a blessing. Let's talk about our business, guys. This is important. For your coaching business, those of you guys that are struggling with creating content, you might be struggling with creating content because, it's like hard and it's a lot of work, etc. And so you just post random shit without thinking about it. Think about this for a second, guys. One post that you write could make enough of an impact on one person for them to completely change their fucking life. One post that you write could be the difference maker between somebody living a life that they're depressed, sad, and miserable to being completely confident, healthy, and happy. One fucking post. And you know why I know that? Because I'm sure that there's been one conversation. I want you to think about your life for a second. Can you think about one conversation that you've had with one person that completely changed your life? Just one. Or one thing that you read, like one post that you read, or one thing that maybe I said, or Gary Vee said, or somebody inspirational said to you that completely changed your life. Can you think about one conversation? If you can think about one conversation that you've had that completely changed your life, then that means that you could fucking do that for somebody else. And that is a gift. Creating content for me is a blessing. The fact that I get to be on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, podcast app, TikTok, that's a blessing. That's a gift. That's an honor. And the fact that it's free, F-R-E-E, fucking free to post on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, it's free to market, is a gift. It is a blessing. And you guys should view it like that too. Like, it is a gift to be able to impact people with social media. Creating content, blessing, gift. Thank you so much. I'll do it all day, every single day. What an amazing opportunity. And let's talk about relationships for a second, right? Because as entrepreneurs, I think that it's common for us to almost view our relationship as a chore. Let's just be transparent here. Because when you're working on your online business and you're in momentum and you start crushing it, you start making like $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month, it's almost like it's hard to take a break from that and work on your relationship. And sometimes it can be viewed as a chore. It can be viewed as like a distraction. But The relationship that you're in right now, like having a healthy, happy relationship where both people are communicating, both people feel heard and appreciated and valued, that is something worth fighting for. And so, yes, it's always a work in progress. And yes, it's going to take extra effort. And yes, that extra effort might mean that you might need to sacrifice a little bit of sleep and get a little bit less Netflix so you can spend a little bit more time with your significant other. But that's a fucking blessing. To have somebody that hears you, to have somebody that you hear in your life, in your circle, is a blessing, is a gift. So guys, I am always a work in progress. Always. There is never a point in time in my life where I make it. And I know that because the second I feel like I make it, the second I feel like I have all my shit together, the second I feel like I have it all figured out is this exact second that I take my foot off the gas pedal. And when I take the foot off the gas pedal, when it comes to my goals and ambitions and my driving force in life, that for me is when I feel like I start moving forward. When you're not moving forwards, you're moving backwards. And I used to operate from a different place, you guys. Like I used to be labor intensive and work on my business because I felt like if I didn't, that I was going to lose it. I was like, man, it was almost like from a scarcity-based perspective. I was like, when I first started online coaching, it's like I needed to be the best possible coach ever because, and honestly, a lot of it was shame-driven too. Like coming out of a drug addiction, I felt so bad about being a drug addict that I wanted to be so good for my clients and I wanted to be so on top of it for my clients. But now, guys, I'm telling you guys, after a certain period of time, like that energy burns out. And an energy that I've always had that has never burned out, this one will always stay true, is viewing the work as a gift and not a chore. Viewing this opportunity to communicate with you guys on this podcast as a blessing and not a chore. Viewing reaching out to potential clients to bring them into my coaching program as fun and as exciting and as liberating instead of as a chore. You are always a work in progress in every single aspect of your life. And the second you feel like you make it is the second you start moving backwards. So I encourage you to work on yourself. I encourage you to look at the areas of your life that mean the most to you. And for me, I really do think that there's three different areas of your life that will provide you fulfillment and happiness. I think there's only three: health, wealth, and relationships. That's it. There might be some other like spirituality, etc. However, health, wealth, and relationships are the three core fundamentals that lead to happiness and fulfillment in your life: health, wealth, and relationships. So look at these areas of your life right now and ask yourself, like, how can I work on this week? That's what I'm asking myself every single week in my goal setting sessions. It's like, how can I improve my health just a little bit this week? What can I do in my relationships to make them just a little bit better this week? What can I do in my business to make it just 1% better this week? And how can I improve and get just a teeny little bit better? I am always a work in progress. The second you feel like you make it is the second you start moving backwards.